What's up, y'all? Thank you so much for being here. How are y'all's day going?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Manic, do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself, ladies, first? Love to have you on. Okay. Let's go. I'm going to go with Sebastian. Come on,
That's a nice
Sebast.
start.
Yeah, it's great. It's whatever. It's funny. Sebastian, tell me a little bit about yourself, man. Who are you? What do you do in this space?
Yeah, thanks for the invite to be able to participate here. I think some people already know me, but I'm the head of community of Rainy Studios and also playing a part in the Sweden ecosystem. So yeah, it's pretty nice. I think I'm already almost 4 years involved with Rainy Studios, and they have one TCG game out, RT LOL, since 2 years on the Epic Game Store. So learned a lot during all those years, and we keep improving and building.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really bullish on Rainy Studios and what they have going on. They've been working for a while. I actually spoke with you about them like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and yeah, no, it's great. Everyone should check them out. Sebastian is doing great things as the head of community. So yeah, Billy, what's up?
Yo, how's it going? Thank you for having me on. I am Billy. I am a Web3 content creator focusing on morely educational content, and I don't. I'm not really chain specific. I talk about every chain, anything that sort of interests me, as well. I am the leader of the live stream cabal, which Lido himself is part of, and it's a group of streamers, content creators who just pretty much want to work together and grow together.
Hell yeah. Dope to have you here as well. As we wait for Granity to come up, do you want to talk about you stream on Abstract, don't you, Billy?
I don't. I'm
Oh,
not. I'm not
oh, that's
approved yet.
Grinity. You're not
Yeah,
approved yet.
Grinity. No.
What's the process like for that?
You pretty much just sign up and you hope and pray that they accept you. It's like that's pretty much it. It's obviously you have to post content on Abstract for them to see you. And Grindy, now that he's here, he can probably give you more information on all that. But yeah, it's pretty much support Abstract, and then they'll accept you for streaming and you know further on that platform.
Awesome. Mr. Grinity, we were talking about Abstract streaming on there, and Billy was telling me about a little bit about the process. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it's how do you think it compares to places like Twitch, Twitter streaming, Kick streaming, or streaming on the arena? I don't know if
Oh,
he hears me.
Grindy, can you hear Lido?
I would say like
Oh,
a big difference here. Sorry, by the way, like my system literally died on my Wi-Fi.
oh,
Yeah, I can hear you guys. What are you talking about? Man, this is
I think
fucked
he's
up.
just
One
delayed.
second.
Yeah, he's delayed. It's
He's
fine.
delayed. That's crazy.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. This is hilarious.
Man, what is going on? Yeah, but if this is like such a crazy delay, this doesn't
this,
make any
th-
sense, right? Should I
yeah,
leave once more and join once more? I don't know.
sure. Why not? We'll go on to you, Sebastian.
Yeah,
What
sure.
yeah.
Abstract streaming. I also
Yeah.
try
What?
to, or at least I also did my application form thingy, and I don't know, still didn't hear anything from them. I think it's already 6 weeks ago or something. I heard like the real deal here is just spamming some of the Twitter accounts of like certain guys that are managers for their platform, or just know people behind the scenes, or else you don't really stand a chance. And you can also join their Twitter community thing. There's some sort of a guild, I think, on X, and their Discord as well. But it's really hard to get in the streaming club. But it's a nice platform. I watched some people streaming games, and it looks cool. Everything in one platform is just the way to go, in my opinion. It's easy to onboard new users, and also cool with the tipping system. I think it's the next Twitch, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
That's strong words. Why do you think that? What does it do that makes it on par or close to being close to Twitch?
Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I'm really pro Web3 with like the whole decentralized thing with your wallet, and just Abstract is just very good with incorporating all those new things into one platform, having like the community aspect and the financial slash token aspect as well. And like I said, the whole tipping thing is just something new and also interesting, especially with like fully using the Web3 technology behind it. And also the layout, I think it's easy to use, really cool looking as well. I mean, that's an opinion, of course, but still, I do think it will get pretty big. But it depends on the games and the streamers, of course. And gaming is in a bit of a hard situation currently, so it's hard to really get it moving in this in the current conditions. Also, with GTA 6 delaying and some other games canceling titles, so it's hard, but I definitely think Abstract will be huge in like a couple of years. Yeah, sure.
Greenity. So Sebastian said that uh, Abstract has the potential to be just like Twitch or like be as big as Twitch. Is that something that you would agree with?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope that my delay is not too heavy right now. How does it
It's
work
better.
now?
The
It's
quality as
much
well.
better.
So.
Much
Let's
better.
go.
All right, perfect.
Let's go.
We can hear you
I will
instantly
just
now.
test something first. I would say now I would 100% agree to this. I think Abstract is definitely going to be a big competitor to the existing platforms, just for the fact that, we all know that the crypto space is basically growing, right? And that also the interest from normies, of course, kind of grows as well. We see it from with the outcome of Pudgy Penguins, right? Like the brand on its own is super successful, basically, for it being a Web3 brand, and it's kind of like self-sustainable now without like having this most likely crypto stack that they of course have, right? But they also make money elsewhere, like in Web 2, basically. So it will be very easy, I guess, for them also to kind of funnel that to a Web 2 audience, right? As soon as they bring this attention to there. And I guess through that, it's hard. Like if you consider, Pudgy Penguin's account, for example, on Instagram has almost 2 million followers. If they launch a product, right? Basically, through the Pudgy Penguins brand. Of course, Abstract is its own ecosystem without a question, but we all know that this is like, Pudgy Penguins is kind of like the godfather behind it without a question. If they bring a major push from an account that has like over 2 million followers here and like a million followers there, this will bring some traction without a question, right? And if this is like as user friendly as it is right now already, and maybe even better, because this is just a start, right? This is just the beginning of how the platform is actually going to look like and how easy it's going to be to onboard people into this. So I guess, yeah, just for the fact that, sorry, I lost my point here for a second. But just
good.
like one last thing that I would like to add here is I think it's also very easy, as it was said before as well, with the tipping feature, basically, that you don't have anything to do before you get started on there, right? Like Twitch, for example, have the affiliate programs as well as Kick and whatever until you even can start to earn money on those platforms. Over there, you can do it from minute one, right? I can start as a streamer from minute one, not being verified or whatever. And if somebody thinks, okay, I'm funny as fuck right now, let's like tip this guy 10K Pengu, then I'm going to receive it, right? Without any downturn, without any money of that going to the platform or whatever, those 10K Pengu are mine. And this is what makes them superior from any other streaming platform out there so far, I would say. And at least if you consider the earning features, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. I also learned a while ago not to fade anything that Luca Nets does or anything that he puts his attention into. As you can see, Penguins and all the events they host worldwide with APAC or in the Americas. Yeah, no, I'm really bullish on the stuff that he has to build. Are any of y'all familiar with the arena as a platform?
Yes.
Awesome. Do you want to talk about maybe what you think are some differences between that and abstract, and should you do one, should you do both?
Well, out of the gate, I'm automatically gonna say always take advantage of every platform that you can, um, as long as it makes sense within your sort of brand. Um, but you want to main focus on one. Like it's good to multi-stream, it's good to like post content other places, but you have to have a sole focus. You have to know where your main community comes from. So I would say like I haven't looked at arena streaming too much. I know Carter has been streaming there a bit, but I think it's about the same. I think it's abstract does what abstract does and arena does what arena does. It's just different blockchains in my opinion, doing the same sort of things. It just depends on what blockchain you like and what sort of platform fits better within your brand.
Sure. I saw you nodding your head. Do you had anything you agreed with or resonated with that he said?
Yeah, I think it definitely comes down here to what kind of platform you prefer. I think where the arena is shining a little bit more as well is kind of like the spaces aspect, right? Or this podcast aspect that they're offering as well. Additionally to their streaming service, which was basically existing beforehand, right? So I guess this is where they got a lot of attention in general, and now like adding the streaming feature is something super dope. But I think in terms of that, it's I'm not quite sure how it's going to play out there. I think many people are using it as an additional platform, abstract as well as the arena, without a question. Um, but I think where the arena will actually is actually going to shine is more like this social platform aspect, kind of like, I don't want to say becoming the new X, but somehow you know what I mean, right? The thing that many people, especially in the crypto space, holds on X right now is basically the spaces and podcast feature because it's kind of easy to use and whatever, right? It's definitely not the streaming aspect behind it. So I guess we are going to see way more impact on that side maybe rather than streaming. But I guess there is a place for both, right? Without a question.
Awesome. Do y'all happen to know if it's that can work with like a how Restream allows you to multi-stream or like Streamlabs does? Is that a feature as well? Do they already have it integrated with Streamlabs to do
Yeah,
multi-stream?
I'm pretty sure you can multi-stream through Restream by adding the RTMP.
Yes.
Like a custom on Restream, there's a certain custom feature. I think it might be on StreamYards as well or other multi things, but you can kind of solve it all there.
Yeah. So we were talking about, well, Granity mentioned that there was incentives to join their platform via, you can automatically start gaining Pengu or like getting tip Pengu from the start. You don't need to have an affiliate program or anything like that. What are some other ways that you think if if they're not already doing that, they can incentivize people to participate in their product, i.e. abstract? Seb, do you have any thoughts on that?
I do think the whole community building thing that Abstract is currently using is really amazing, especially when you look at like the Web3 technology itself with the NFT. As well, when you go back to the pandas, Kempa pandas as well, you know it, like the special exclusivity that's really popular under NFT holders or some crypto users as well, like bonuses that you can get or just the feeling that you're part of something that's more exclusive than other normies can use. And I think that's also a big thing in the real world, or at least the Web 2 world. Look at Counter-Strike. uh, since the new Counter-Strike version, a lot of old skins went sky high, like 20, 30K for just a skin, just to be part of
Jeez.
something legendary or like a small group of people that own the skin. And there's not really a community behind it in particular, but still, it's cool to have. And that's the benefit of crypto. You can have that special item or camo as like an NFT, and then you can connect to a certain platform like Abstract maybe, and it reads your wallet and sees, okay, you have that special NFT. Now you're part of like the chat club. I don't know, and then you get special bonuses. You can chat with each other and easy to communicate. And people that are grinding and grinding and want to spend money inside the ecosystem of that specific game are more incentivized to eventually buy a better skin or a high tier skin, or I don't know, better looking skin, to be part of the exclusive community. And I think that also incentivizes a bit of the FOMO feeling that we all get when the market is booming and you see NFTs booming and people like, oh, cool, that's a cool profile picture. I want one. Maybe not for the profile picture, but just the community behind it, or to flex on friends. I don't know. Some people are like that, and put it as like a nice profile picture on X, and everyone sees it. The same thing we saw with the Bored Ape Club was the same thing, but then a lot of scammers used it, and now it's a bit dead.
Yeah.
Now you see a lot of penguins, which are nicer in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's still cool to see a lot of the I don't know, in my opinion, the future of communities using the not really trust of people of people, but just systems like the whole Web3 fundamental, and just having things in your own wallet, in your own control, decentralized, and then yeah, it's easier. No scams, no fakes. You see it with Pokemon as well. There are a lot of rumors that Pokemon is looking into incorporating some blockchain technology for their cards. I mean, that's pretty awesome. A lot of replicas are out there. So it was always on, like, after school when you was trading Pokemon cards with friends. It was also looking in the sun and all the special things on the cards. And still, sometimes you got scammed by other people. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's still a big step towards a better and more decentralized future, which is great in my eyes.
Yeah, dude, same. Are any of y'all playing what are they currently adding blockchain to this Pokemon cards, or is that something that's being talked about?
It's a rumor.
It's a rumor. Okay.
Well, I think no, I think what was confirmed is that Pokemon is using um like crypto technology for Pokemon Home for digital collectible cards and stuff, and that's going to be built on Sui. Apparently, that's kind of the rumor, but they are doing something like that with Pokemon Home. Um, but we don't know like all the specifics on like what exactly that means.
Yeah, that's true. They call it digital souvenirs,
Yeah,
so it's a
digital
different.
souvenirs. So
NFTs is
NFTs,
a bit
but
Yeah.
of a different, like a harder word to use maybe for their marketing. So then just
yeah,
call digital souvenirs.
it's a nicer word to use for
Yeah,
investors and
indeed.
hey, we're selling these souvenirs that are just digital on our Pokemon
Yeah,
Home app, and like that, you see our cards doing really well. What can our souvenirs do? Which honestly, I think Pokemon anything will do really well in crypto.
yeah.
Just is what it
Yeah.
is.
Hmm.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, are they doing the digital souvenir thing, like y'all said, for marketing purposes, or maybe it's like it helps them with taxes or something because or some shit like that. I don't
I
know.
honestly have my doubts that it has anything to do with taxes, but I will say that it's more just like probably just playing with the technology and seeing how it does. I think it's more of a experiment than anything. Um, but yeah,
Do y'all think, Greeny, do you think that people will look at Pokemon getting involved with blockchain technology? Let's think about the regular everyday Web2 Andy. Will they look at this and be, oh, that's cool, or will they like be sucking their teeth and thinking, oh, now they're trying to rug us with cryptocurrencies or anything like that? How do you think it's going to be perceived?
I think that's a tough question, just for the fact that in the past we've kind of seen that, a lot of bigger companies that have joined the Web3 space or the crypto space have been kind of, not being really well approached by the Web3 community, just for the fact that we're like, oh, now everybody's milking us. But I kind of have the feeling that the space has changed a little bit, right? People are a little bit more open to ha- getting this having this adoption happen, and not just only the flip aspect. Of course, there are still flippers around here, right? And people that are trying to make the quick buck. I mean, we are all in Web3 also to make some profit. But I guess in those terms, it's going to be, yeah, perceived very positive from the people around here. As Billy already said, like Pokemon is a big thing in the crypto space. We see it with, a bunch of different like tokenized asset platforms, basically, like BZ or also Dilly, right? That is existing on Abstract, where people are already selling like tokenized booster packs or displays or graded cards or whatever, right? And I think if this comes from the official Pokemon side, then this adds a layer already, or adds one more layer for all the already existing collectors in this space, to kind of buy their stuff with crypto straight away from Pokemon without going to the third party, basically. And yeah, I guess that can be huge for them. But I also think that it always depends. It really depends what kind of company is actually entering the space, right? I guess Pokemon is a good pick. I guess also if it would come down to like gaming studios, if we think of Rockstar, for example, with GTA or whatever, something that is like cultural, or that has a very important cultural aspect, at least like in our society, in our young society, right? Like GTA, Pokemon, those are things that are like important for the people around. Everybody knows what a Pikachu is, and everybody
Yes,
knows
sir.
what Grand Theft Auto is. So this is like, I think when those companies actually are going to enter the space, this might bring some adoption. We already see it with like Off the Grid and like Epic Games, right? Also something that worked out pretty nice. So yeah, I think this can work out pretty well.
Yeah, I think Sebastian working for Rainy Studios, I think he knows how well you can integrate something like a card game into blockchain technology, i.e., with Rainy Lords of Light. Um, do you want to give a brief rundown of what they're doing, like a very like high level, just like general sense of how they're integrating their cards with the blockchain?
Yeah, I mean, it's especially for the normie, which is like the biggest player base in gaming. If you look at GTA, for example, most of them are just Web 2 gamers, and besides that, a lot of rumors are for the new GTA 6 that there will be some sort of currency in game that can maybe be traded, or like a marketplace in a game, which maybe uses blockchain technology itself. So could be interesting as well to convert maybe some GTA players to more Web 3 or crypto users. But besides that, RT yeah, it's just a trading card game, TCG, and in like a Hearthstone ID, but then your cards are NFTs. The benefit of using them as NFTs, it's easy to send out rewards, for example, or hold tournaments with certain requirements. So you can only enter or participate this tournament if you hold 20 NFTs, or you have all your cards in your deck as NFT. I mean, that's the whole benefit of it. There's no real middleman in the whole rewards progress. And for example, if you get banned from Steam, then everything is locked away, your skins, etc. You have no control over it. And with RTLO, for example, if you get banned from our servers, yeah, it's unfortunate, but your NFTs are still your NFTs, so you still or be able to sell them, or to send them to another wallet, or use them in other game, for example. So that's just the whole benefit of having them as an NFT. And you can add more functions as well. And we're looking to incorporate more blockchain or Web3 technology in it. But it's hard. You need to find like an equilibrium between user experience in like a nice way, and just using new technology. And you don't really want your users to encounter any problems with like adding a wallet or creating a new wallet, because there's no normie going to take 15 minutes to take out the time for a new wallet, for example, and connect the wallet to the game, and encounter some issues because a lot of new people don't have a clue about all those wallet extensions, and clicking on buttons and sending them to a wrong wallet address, for example. So you really need to be careful with incorporating too many features. You just have to make it simple, like one click of a button, or maybe two clicks, and then you're set. That's the whole goal. And we incorporate it on our website. It's like 2 clicks connecting your Epic Games account to our website, and your wallet to our website, and then everything is set and done, and then you can just play. So that's the easiest thing you can do. And of course, maybe later it can be even easier, depending on the platform policies, because those are also a bit in a gray area sometimes. They go from pro crypto and pro blockchain to, okay, fuck blockchain, we're going to ditch this, and then you have some policy problems. We also encountered with Epic Games Store, for example. You couldn't really use crypto currencies, or at least there was some store issues. We sold some other currencies in our game, and it was against our policies out of nowhere, and then we had to remove it. So only people could buy certain currencies on our own website with crypto, and not directly through Epic Games. So I mean, it's a hard time, but it's also a good sign that we're all early here in this scene. And I definitely think there are so many possibilities out there, and yeah, the future looks bright. I'm still pretty bullish, and especially if you visit some events or some like the Beam event last year, I attended that. Beam is also like a gaming blockchain layer one, and then some people played RT for example, or other games, and everyone was so hyped, and just the whole community feeling around it was pretty cool. So, when you have more events, bigger events like Gamescom, and you really get like 50-50 Web 2 and Web 3 Gamescom, that were really great to see, and cool to encounter new people seeing the potential in this new technology, and will definitely be better for the user, in my opinion, and as well for the for the maker, like a new business model, like an internal business model with new items as NFTs and more ways to utilize NFTs and profit off them in certain ways. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Pokemon would really benefit off of seeing how Rainy Studios has handled the way that they've done play to earn, collect to earn, especially with having the NFTs as cards. You can passively gain RST. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Based on rarity. So the rarer your card. So you could see it as like a PSA value that they have with their current cards for Pokemon. And like the better your PSA value, or the more scarce your card is, the more rewards you can earn, or the more things you can do with the card, like the special community, or I don't know, more rewards, having early access to new features or drops. There are plenty of opportunities for them to really amplify the new technology.
Yeah, and something about games like RTLOL is that you can be fun and you can spend a lot of time like playing it, but also what's important is that people know that RTL exists, or people know that like, hey, there's this cool card game, we should be trying to play it. What I'm getting at is this one can be for you, Billy and Grinity. Do you all believe that KOLs or social media influencers, content creators such as yourselves, are necessary for aiding in the marketing products in the Web3 space?
I didn't catch that last part. For what?
Are KOLs necessary for aiding in marketing products in the Web3 space?
I mean, it's definitely about how you go about it. I think content creators are a big part of what grows a Web3 community, and I point out Web3 specifically there for a reason, because you don't need influencers for a Web2 business necessarily, right? All you really need is customers, and you get a good flow of that going, and you should be fine. Usually word of mouth can do some wonders if you have a good product. But for Web3, you're very focused on what does it do? How does it work? What do I even do to get started? That it does kind of require a little more hands-on from the content creators to kind of point that out and be like, okay, well, this is how you can use this platform, or this is how you can get started on this game. This is how you can set up this wallet. I don't know if that made sense, but I don't know. I think it's definitely important in a Web3 space more than a Web2. I think we see it a little more in Web3.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, Grinity?
Uh-oh. I think he's
I'm
delayed.
waiting for the delay to. I think he's catching it now. Let's go. He was nodding his head.
Yeah, I kind of agree
Let's go.
on what Billy said here, right? To an extent, I think it's more important to have content creators rather than KOL.
Oh,
No, you can't be serious. This is not.
the delay makes it so much better.
This
'Cause
is good content.
How
he was
long
like
does this take? You can't be serious.
mid sentence, like into it. What
Yeah.
the
I'm sorry,
fuck?
guys. I'm so sorry, guys.
You're good,
Yeah.
Gradity. Go ahead. Go ahead. We'll stop
Nah,
interrupting you.
how is it now? Am I back? No. What is happening here? I don't know why my internet is so fucking slow today. I'm super sorry, guys. For real. But I just keep on going, okay, so that you get your answer. Um, in my opinion, right, 100% it comes more down to like content creators, as Billy already said, like communities basically is something that becomes more important. I think what we see right now is that those classic KOL structures, influencers from back in the days, is not like the same anymore as it is right now, right? Like projects are not that interested to pay someone, I don't know, with 100,000 followers something for one post that might drive a lot of impressions, but doesn't really bring those conversions, right? I guess this is also the reason why streaming becomes a little bit more interesting right now, because it's more of this like hands-on experience where you can show off on stream straight away, kind of, guide people through the process, and maybe some of those viewers are actually following along straight away and join in into the platform or whatever you're presenting there, right? I guess this is also the reason why it becomes a little bit more interesting. Um, but yeah, in general, I guess, yeah, you need those ones, but not like KOLs, as some people might have that still up their mind, right? I think the term KOL is something that is still like very, mm, how would you say that? Like attached to those old structures from 21, 22, right? As well as like influencers. I guess it comes more down to like the middle following people, tinier content creators that have this solid base though of people that are actually supporting them and are not only interacting with them because they're hoping to get like that reply from them for their own impression boost or whatever you could imagine, right? That are rather out there presenting good content and want to present something to the people than just like farming numbers, basically.
Yeah, no. Do you have any intake on that? On your thoughts on content creators' importance into marketing Web3 games, Sebastian?
Yeah, I do think it's always hard to really use KOLs because most of the time KOLs are being associated with like pump and dumps or like self enrichment by promoting certain products or tokens or NFTs and then just using their followers as exit liquidity. And there are some good KOLs out there. Don't get me wrong, but it's like a real small group, and they don't really show anything that fast or that soon. So that's the whole thing. I do think you need them because yeah, you're scrolling on X, for example. That's the biggest crypto platform still, in my opinion, with like socially. And then people promote certain tokens or projects, and then you see it on your timeline, and then you click on it because you're getting curious, or you see it multiple people tweeting it out. And I mean, that's the whole thing. And then you or look at their website, maybe you go into the Telegram or Discord channels. So the thing is, it still works to a certain extent, only in the bull market, in my opinion, because in the bear market, the whole community is nearly dead because people just or sell their tokens and go away, or just don't look at their wallet and PC and just live a normal life, and they only come back when Bitcoin is on the news again, and then they check their wallet, for example. So I do think you need them. Yeah, it's hard. Maybe like bigger platforms as Abstract can maybe fix it, like having more better environment for everything crypto, and yeah, I don't know, certain rankings or just more reliable people on a platform promoting certain products or highlights, project highlights based on engagement. I don't know, like more viable ways to really promote certain projects or tokens, NFTs, for example. But yeah, it's still hard. I mean, you're really happy to be able to use KOLs to promote your product still, especially when the market is green, because normies see their idol or their big guy that they follow and they trust, and they put their life savings in everything he tweets out, because that's the growth of people that are following certain KOLs out there. And then they get mad when it dumps like 40%, and then you get all those death threats and so on. So yeah, it's a hard way, but yeah, you still need it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about this. It's also important to find out how the KOL or content creator is being, how they're being like helped, how they're being like monetized in order to market the game. Because let's say a KOL is saying you should definitely play Ant Race, but let's say Ant Race had a token and the KOL was given money, like they were given Ant token, and the moment that they got paid, they just dumped on their followers. So I think that's also important to think about how they're being monetized or beneficiated for
Yeah.
their for it. Also, what do you guys think that nowadays it's important for founders to also be content creators in this space? What are your thoughts?
No. Um, I think I think it's important for founders to just be founders. They are the creative, not the sole creative genius, but they're the reason the whole thing started. If they're not focused on what's going on, and yeah, you can definitely do both. But what am I trying to say here? So focus on getting the business where the business needs to get to. If you can create content without it hindering that process, I say go for it instead of hiring people, because that saves the business money, you know. And you could probably explain your product better than any other content creator you hire can. But like I said, it takes time away from what you're building. And I think if you just have a team around you that can take care of the things that aren't necessarily important right then and there, like content and marketing plans and stuff like that, and just solely getting that product to market, I think that is what founders should be focused on. After that, go ahead and start doing some content, help the content team. I don't know. That's just my view on it. But
I got you. What are your thoughts, Greenity? He'll load in like 5 seconds. It's fine. It's okay. He looks so intent on what we're saying.
he looks
I hope
mad.
you're ready to wait for an hour once more to get my answer, because this is, I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm so sorry about this, for real.
It's all good, greedily.
No worries.
Yeah,
no worries.
I'm super sorry about that, guys, for real. uh, Man, yeah, this is something that's pissing me off for real when something like this happens, because the whole day my internet works without any issues, and like the second we get started here, it's messing up. But yeah, welcome to us. All good. But yeah, my thoughts here is basically you don't have to be a content creator. I think it's beneficial if you understand like how content creation works, so that you can also have an impact in terms of, appearances in certain videos, maybe, or whatever you could imagine, just that people see you. What I do think though is that as a founder, it's kind of important to have a personal profile, right? Just to share your personal opinions and your personal thoughts, maybe as well, because this builds a little bit more trust within the people that are actually following you and that are investing in your business, right? And we also see this like with the top earners basically in the world. Like Elon Musk has his own profile, right? Like Donald Trump, Jeff Bezos, whatever you could imagine, like all of those big founders basically, or top earners in the world, they also have all their personal profiles, share like personal insights, whether it's like traveling or just like thoughts, maybe political thoughts, whatever you could imagine, right? But it's like they're out there and they're kind of, you know, showing who they are. And that is something that builds a lot of trust. If you have to be a content creator, no, definitely, I don't think so. Agree to Billy, 100%. But I think it is necessary to have like an online presence besides your business or project account.
Yeah, Grindy kind of said exactly what I wanted to say without fumbling his words. So, yeah, no, online
It just
presence is
delayed for 10 minutes.
no, but definitely, yeah, that you have to have some sort of online presence as a founder still. Like, be the creative genius behind it, but like also still guide everyone and be like, okay, I need to be on this space, I need to be on this stream. Like, be present and explain. That's what I would say being a content creator is for a founder. But yeah.
Sebastian, what kind of content would you like advise? Content, whether it could be threads, whatever, that a founder could put out to become more personable with his audience or the people consuming his product.
I think more live events, just spaces or live on Twitch, X, or Abstract. It's easy to engage with your community, and you get like the person behind it and the authenticity. So you're not really like a copycat. And I don't know, it really bonds you with your community and vice versa. And it's more easy accessible for people to give feedback, and you can also share your struggles because it's hard to develop a game, for example, and then you can give updates when you have them and if you can give them, and also tell the community the things you're struggling with to a certain extent, or the hinting on things that are coming, because crypto is still hype based, and then you can let them guess and keep the community busy. So I do think live events are still key, and you can maybe upload a recap on YouTube, so you have multiple platforms, which is also good for your SEO on Google, and yeah, just that. Keep it easy, keep it simple, and less is more. I think that's also a big thing here. Sometimes you see projects just throwing out content on a daily basis, like 30 or 40 clips on TikTok, and I don't know, nobody's going to watch it, and the quality is most of the time very low or very bad. And just have like once per week or bi-weekly a good stream with your community, and post certain highlights of it during the weeks, and have a structure so people know what's coming and what they can expect. Or maybe do some write-ups. You also have article modes on X, for example, or just long threads with some highlights or things that are currently uh, keeping the studio or project busy, or new things, new people joining it. People like to see growth, so you can also really look into people that are joining the team, for example, if they want to be doxed. I mean, having a docs team is always a plus, especially in
Dude,
crypto, in my opinion. Just seeing faces behind it and have nothing to hide. I experienced the same with me, and you saw it in the bear market. It also has like negative signs of people threatening you and all those nasty shit that you get over you, because in their eyes it's your fault that the whole market crashed. I mean, yeah, sorry. Uh, we're just trying
yeah,
our best, and you always have those people, but still staying true to yourself, that's always the best here.
yeah,
It
dude.
attracts more people, and people
Yeah,
go talking about you to other people, like, oh, that's a cool guy or a nice guy. He has passion for what he's doing, and that's just really scarce in 2025, in my opinion. There are a lot of Dubai-ish people out there with all the same personality and same goals and same way of doing things, and it makes it pretty boring, in my opinion, because not a whole lot of people are just being their self and doing things on their own. You have people that are doing extreme stuff out there, and those are getting a lot of attention as well. Or people just really being themselves, getting millions of followers just by being themselves. You saw Sam Sulek, like the gym guy
oh
on
yeah, that
YouTube with his
guy.
full workouts, and everyone tried to do like nice edits and trying to step up their game. And then there's this guy just
Yep.
filming 45, 50 minutes of just him driving to the gym, doing his gym workout, do some talking, and it exploded on the internet with like millions of views per video. So that also confirms the whole meta, being yourself and doing things you like, and have some structure in it, and then you should be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
I
Yeah,
think
go ahead, Billy.
people sorry, I think people just resonate with the person. I think if you have a very contagious personality, you're gonna do good in content creation. Like I could say from experience, Greenity is one of those people. He has a very addicting personality. It's someone you want to be around. Josie, another one of those people, another person you just want to be around because she's funny. Like that plays a big part in content creation. If you're not yourself, people can feel it and they can smell it from a mile away now. So just be yourself. That was my little side
100%.
note. Sorry for stealing the show, Lito.
No, go ahead. Granted, do you have any? He said 100%, so let's wait like 10 seconds so he
Yeah,
can.
no, I agree.
Oh, he's not
No,
delayed.
I
Let's
agree.
go.
Let's go.
I agree to that as well. Yeah, I closed literally everything right now. That could be and that could use any kind of like internet yeah, data or whatever, however you want to call this. No, I agree on that as well. I think, authenticity, as I mentioned this before in a quick sentence as well, is something that definitely helps you a lot, right? Like, because, as Billy said, people are going to realize that pretty fast, and those are most likely the moments then when the big downfall is happening, right? Like, and I would say some recent example, especially when it comes down to Web3, is what we've all seen on the timeline, right? With the LA vape cabal, right? Where everybody always thought, oh, this is like the cool stuff and they are going to change everything and whatever. And they are going to, pump our backs or whatever you could imagine. And now everybody is kind of gone. And everybody's like, nah, maybe we were not right about what we were thinking about those people, right? Maybe they were not real on their streams. So I guess people are looking more for, yeah, like actual authentic people, whether you're funny, whether you're smart, whether you have a special talent, right? Maybe you're good at coding or whatever you could imagine. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, just like be yourself. Very much agreed.
Yeah, I
And I
think it's
didn't
really
want to
in.
take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting when you look at people's different editing styles. Like, let's say Mr. Beast, how he'll do like a clip and then a 2 second cut into another angle, and then all that. And then you look at like what Sebastian mentioned, Sam Sulek. It really like if you have a polarizing like personality, or if you're like the type of person that people want to watch, you won't need to do all these edits or chops to maintain people's attention. They're just gonna naturally want to just watch and to see what you're up to. And a little bit of a shell right here. If anyone is interested in like learning or becoming better of a content creator, or being close to someone, or like close to a group of people with the same goal as yourself, then you should definitely check out Livestream Cabal. Um, Billy, just message him. He will, he'll just
We'll get you
get you into the
started.
Discord. Yeah, absolutely. Sebastian, if you're interested in doing any content at all, Billy is someone you want to hit up.
That sounds
So,
cool. Nice.
Yeah, go free hop in. I do. Let me. I want to say it also because you brought up Sam Sulek, Mr. Beast. I want to also mention that different niches are going to have different styles that they kind of react to. Whereas, Mr. Beast does these grand shows, these challenges. I think in that sense, you want more of those precise edits, those cuts, those, sound effects that are happening, because it keeps the person really engaged in what's going on. And, whoa, my lights just flickered. Um, and like with something like Sam Sulik, I feel like his stuff works so well without those edits. Again, oh my shit, fucked up. Um, I accidentally opened up OBS.
everyone's having technical
Oh, no,
difficulty
I just
today.
accidentally opened up OBS and
Oh, okay,
it
got
messed
you.
with my camera. But yeah, so like Sam Sulik, if you're that vibe and people just want to listen to you and just you don't need all those edits. Like if it's just a vibe and people know that and they resonate with that, they're gonna stay. But like Mr. Beast is so big because he did do production style things. So there's a level, but also it's not important. It depends on really what you want to do as a content creator. Um, for me, I do my style of edits because it's what I believe works best for my style of content. I don't think I can get the same impressions if I weren't putting as much editing into it, if that makes sense, you know? Um, like I can't just sit here and talk to people. It wouldn't work well for me. But let's say you Lido, you can probably sit here and, talk and,
Josie
do
can.
conversation. Hopefully my point's getting across. I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
explaining it perfectly, but it does come down to the content style as well, and what works best for that. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Greenity is absolutely someone who you can watch and just have them like be like background noise or just like watch for the entertainment value. You don't agree? I agree. Give yourself some credit.
Now I
Granity's
think we're all
superpower is being
are.
able to have conversation without actually having to think about what he's saying all the time, and that's crazy.
Yeah, I think one of my strengths in general is that I'm good at talking, right? And kind of coming from one thing to another, and I can technically talk to the camera for most likely 8 to 10 hours straight without like having any issues finding something to talk about, especially when you have people that are engaging with you as well, right? Whether it's in spaces or streams. And this kind of varies, of course, from like funny stuff to also like, I would say, deep talk things. And I guess one thing here's my call though. I think one thing that really attracted a lot of people, especially throughout last year, to follow up was because I was super like open with my mental health, and we're kind of like in spaces, also in streams, like I shared my full story and I was not like, I wasn't sugarcoating anything. Let's just say it like that, right? And that was something where people kind of, I think, also had like this, yeah, authentic feeling once more, right? Like there's a person behind that screen, you know, something relatable, you know what I mean? Like we all kind of have some things to struggle with, but not many people are very vocal about it. So I guess that was something that brought some pretty, yeah, big push now as well. And now we're kind of diving more into the content creation stuff, right? I always have like funny, stupid ideas up my mind. And as of right now, it seems like people are enjoying it, right? So yeah, we try to keep on going with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That goes towards the idea of like having a personal profile, being authentic. People will resonate with that and they'll just naturally want to watch you and continue to consume your content because of it. I'm sure you can agree, Sebastian, on the role of authenticity and being a content creator or just like being a founder in the space.
Yeah, it's also way easier for just the longevity of your own project being your own, and also sharing your struggles. Just being honest, no real weird FOMO talk or fake hype. Just being yourself and sharing your passion. That's the whole thing. Just be passionate about the things that you're trying to achieve, and take your audience with it, like the whole journey, and also use their feedback or their um, their comments, maybe negative or positive, but just try to listen to them, because then they feel heard or listened to, and then they will also feel incentivized to give more feedback over the coming streams. Like, okay, cool, this guy is listening to me. I have something to say about this project. You can also use certain governance systems of with like the real crypto deal, but it's easier with just live streams and people commenting as well. And I
Yeah.
mean, it just generates or creates a strong foundation in your community, and that's so important in crypto. If you have a very nice and good product which has a lot of potential, but you don't have a community to really enforce it or just to hype it up, then you're almost done in this space. It's really hard. Then you have some KOLs maybe you can pay to promote it, but then they join your socials, your Discord or Telegram, and then they see, okay, it looks dead, so probably it is dead, and then they just leave, and it's not really inviting to talk or be social with other people. And that's the whole cool thing about big NFT projects with big Discord communities, and then you can join it and you have some chit chat and I don't know, meet some new digital friends, for example. I know there are plenty of examples, and it's just a win-win for everyone: the content creator or owner, project owner, and the user itself.
Yeah, I totally agree. And with that, I think that that's a really good way to end it off. Community building is super important, and part of how you can do that is being authentic, being true to you, and just people resonate that and they'll want to join. So yeah, thank you guys for joining, coming on. Um, Everyone watching, I would definitely recommend you check out Rainy Studios. They're a great gaming studio, and they've got cool stuff coming along the way. For example, John Jones Brawler. I believe either later this year or the beginning of next year, something like that.
Later this
Um,
year, probably. Yeah, and Lucha Throwdown is coming to Steam as well, so
yeah,
that will be pretty soon as well.
yeah. If you're in Latin America, you definitely want to check out Lucha Throwdown. Um, the lucha scene in Mexico and just
It's
all Latin
huge.
America is huge, so that's going to be a great. I think a lot of people are going to be playing that for sure. As also anyone watching, of course, I've mentioned it once in the space, but also check out Livestream Cabal. You definitely, if you're trying to get into content, I'm gonna let actually Billy gives a sales pitch before we close it out.
Oh, you want me to do a sales pitch? All right. Well, like I said in the beginning, Livestream Cabal is a community. It's not even like a project or anything. It's literally just a community where you can join, get access to literally, I don't think we have a single well, besides some of the members, but a non-content creator in here. You have all these people to ask questions and, just learn how to get started. There's a good network in there. It's run by me, Grinity, and Josie Cozy. Grindy and Josie are my co-leaders, and yeah, just join there. If you want to learn how to do content creation, we can help you out.
Yeah, and if you're a founder looking for content creators,
That too. Yeah, we
yeah,
have a lot
super
of good
important.
content creators that we
Yeah,
can give you. I was trying to
yeah.
find a funny word,
Do
but
it.
I was like, I also don't want to say anything too crazy.
Yeah. Also, Grandy, thank you for coming on as well, brother. Don't worry about the audio. Like, you had great insights, and I appreciate you very much for coming on. So, with that, I hope everyone has a great day, and thank you. See y'all next week. Deuces.